Our next award is being presented by Debbie Fitterer on behalf, the recipients will be Mahadai, Deoki, and Judith Lauterstein.
Hi everyone, I'm Debbie Fitterer from the Helen Keller National Center. When Judith Lauterstein reached out to the Helen Keller National Center several years ago to share that she and Ms. Deoki of the Kris agency had started a deaf home health aid training program, we were ecstatic. The Helen Keller National Center Community Services Program serves deaf-blind individuals in the New York City area. Everyone from high school kids looking for their first summer job to elderly individuals with many care needs who are now losing their vision. Every day we go into the homes of older deaf-blind adults and see them with their home attendants, their home aides. These deaf-blind consumers have no way to communicate with their caretakers in their native language, American Sign Language. They had no way to indicate their needs or even explain that they want to go out for some air or to visit friends. We've provided training to our elderly consumers and their aides in these situations, but this training is limited and it's like putting a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. The Kris Agency and Deaf Home Health Aid Training Program provided a real solution, pairing trained and qualified deaf aides with the many deaf and deafblind homebound seniors in need. Over the years, we have referred folks in need of home care. Then we thought, what about a deafblind person becoming a home health aide? We had a young woman in mind, Sarah, a single mother of two with a great work ethic and a desire for a new career. Ms. Lauterstein and Ms. Deoki were open to training a deafblind person and interviewed her for the program. After coordinating the accommodations she needed, Sarah successfully completed the training program and earned her license as a home health aide. She has been working since last July, providing home care for other deafblind individuals, enabling them to maintain their independence and stay in their homes and communities. In recognition of all you've done for the deaf and deafblind community, for filling a much-needed gap in healthcare, in the healthcare world, and providing meaningful careers for so many, we thank you and honor you, Ms. Lauterstein, Ms. Deoki, and the Kris Agency with this award.
Okay, I'm going to give you one instance what takes place in the home of a deaf person. I happened to visit a home one day, and I met the deaf aide as well as the client. So when I was leaving, I said to the aide, he also speaks. I asked the client if he has a question for me. And the answer was, I don't hear, I don't see. And when I take my pills from the pill box, if it falls, I can't get it. So I turned to the aide and I said, tell him to pick up the pills, have a plate, put it to his hand and to his mouth. If it falls, and you'll get it. And that works. You have to be there to know what's going on in order to help. So we're very proud of this program, and we're very proud of Helen Keller, because once we start and if they know the member, they will go in and they will help us for at least a couple of months. We'll have equipment, we'll have the aid there, and they'll help them to work together so the service goes on to help these people in the community. Thank you very much.
I'm Judy Lauterstein, and very, very happy to be here today. This program was the outgrowth of some work that I had done in the last 10 to 15 years. I was awarded some money by the Soros Foundation to start a deaf hospice, never done before in this country, and I did at Beth Israel Medical Center, and it was extraordinary. Fortunately, I worked doing that work for about 10 years, and then I just totally burned out. But I'd love to see it started again, and maybe we can do that. But what happened, while I was doing the hospice work, And working with deaf culture, I realized you cannot send a hearing aid to a deaf person's home, and especially a family with loved ones who are dying. You just can't communicate. So I thought, okay, now we've got to do something about this. We have to start training deaf aides so we can work with the deaf community in their language and their culture. And I thought, okay, I'll start this now. But I thought, how do we do it? So I pulled it all together and I called the state and asked if they could help me, and they were absolutely wonderful. And I did everything they told me to do, except that we needed an agency to work with. So I went to 4 or 5 agencies, some of them very big and some of them very renowned. Nobody was interested. We had had a patient in hospice who had passed away, and I helped him with his will and so on and so forth. The agency that was handling the will after Joe died called me. There was some confusion about the will, and I helped her straighten it out. I said, oh, by the way, do you know of an agency who might be interested in possibly helping me train some deaf home health aides? And they suggested Deoki. So I called her up and I went out there, and she looked at me and she said, sit down. So, and I thought, oh, this is great. So she was interested in helping us start this. She's been wonderful in really nurturing the project through the last year and a half. We've now trained 17 home health aides. There are 3 or 4 of them that are working with deaf-blind clients. It's a very, very exciting, much needed project. But I do want to say one thing about Helen Keller. After we knew that we were going to do this, and I did call Debbie. Debbie and Kim were the first 2 people to call and say, let's do it. They got so excited about it. I don't know why it was never done before, but we really cherish our relationship with Helen Keller. Wonderful group of people, and we want you to know what we do. It's the first time deaf home health aides have been trained anywhere in this country. And it can be replicated any place, and it's a great, great group of people, very devoted, very committed, and thank you very much, and that's it.